Hi everyone, this is Ellen Carlson, and this is a little overview of my nonprofit website, Fed for Life. So real quick, I'm going to scroll down so you can get an idea of what it looks like before I jump into it. Okay, so the overall purpose of this nonprofit is to educate older kids and teens about basic cooking skills and nutrition, essentially so that when they move out on their own and are responsible for themselves, that they have the lifelong skills to know how to cook healthy, affordable meals at home. For example, when I went to college, one of my roommates had never cooked an egg before, let alone a meal. And while that experience is still valid, it does make it harder, I think, to transition to cooking for yourself, like real meals and knowing where to start. So Fed for Life aims to bridge that knowledge gap and hopefully to get people excited about cooking and to want to learn more about it. Okay, so as for design, to be honest, if I was going to start over, I'd probably pick something different just because I would want to do something maybe a little more modern. I still like this though, and I did think about, contrast, repetition, alignment, proximity while I was coming up with the design. Specifically with alignment, you can see with the logo lines up with the text on this side, and the nav bar lines up with the margin on the image here. And that continues down with the text and image, and the gap here is the same. It's all just very consistent, again with the form, and anything that isn't aligned on the left and right tends to be centered. Repetition, it occurs mainly through use of color. So you can see there's lots of red in the hero image and the bars, the watermelon picture, the submit button, and again there's lots of green. The same green is in the footer and the header. There's green in these images down here. And the buttons, although it's a different shade, and the logo. And I really like adding the red and the green together because they are on opposite sides of the color wheel, and it looks nice to me. One of the hardest things about creating this site was that I feel like with the wireframes, one, I don't try new things enough. I feel like everything's kind of blocky. There's lots of rectangles. I wish that I would branch out more, but then also in some ways that's bad too, because I come up with things that are harder than they need to be because I don't realize it's going to be so hard. For example, I wanted to have these kind of like little highlights, which was kind of like an idea of an Instagram post. And so I wanted the caption to be visible when you hover, but that doesn't work for mobile view. So then I was like, oh, well, I'll just do a slideshow, but going between the slideshow to this was a lot harder than I expected, and it definitely stretched me, but taught me a lot of new things. So anyways, that's a brief overview of my site, and I am excited to see what you guys create.